you.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to be so close to the camera there. Hey, you!
Have you ever wondered what the smallest item on all of Roblox is?
Oh yeah, I wonder that all the time.
Well, wonder no longer, because I'm going to show you all of the tiniest hats, just like this tiny little fella on top of my head.
It's so cute and edible.
Maybe that's not edible. Kind of looks like a butt from the top. Maybe it is edible. So here you have it, the 10-sip hat, one of the smallest hats on Roblox, though looking at it at first, you can't tell that until you try it on. When you do, you will see that it is about the size of an acorn. A hat made for a cheese stick, perhaps. I don't know. That's why it's only 10 sips and not 10 gallons like this fella's. Next up, we have something that some of you may find cute, but some of you may find very unpleasant. That thing is a bee on your face. It wants to hug you. It wants to play with you. He wants world domination. He wants to... What?
You need to leave!
It may look massive in the catalog. However, when put onto your avatar, you can tell that this is a realistic-sized bee. Next up, we have the richest man. When this hat originally came out, people thought that you could buy it and look like you have a Sparkle Time fedora, some clockwork headphones, and some clockwork shades, all for the price of 99 Robux. So people were not very happy about it. However, I happen to think this is hilarious because when you actually put the item on, this is how big it is. Finally, they made a Roblox head with my actual brain size included. Having this thing is really funny because it looks like something's wrong. Like, it looks like something just glitched, and now you're cursed with something known as tiny head. Ew. And next up we have... Oh, sorry about that, guys. This little fella just scared the crap out of my pants. This is the cute wandering ghost, but some people beg to differ. The description reads, cute? This is a serious threat to our mission. Screams into a bowl of toenails. I definitely did not add that screams into a bowl of toenails part myself or anything. This accessory is so dang small that if you sit at the right angle, you can't even see it. But once you put it under a microscope lens, you can actually see the cute little fella. There's actually a TikTok meme developed around this thing where it plays an audio that says like, they're just a baby, or Zach, play that, please. They may be a teeny ghost, but they've got a big place in my heart. Next up is a face, because I thought, you know what, if I'm telling you about items, I might as well also include the smallest face, which is technically the glowing eyes series. Pretty self-explanatory. Next up, we have the realistic dragonfly. Keyword here is realistic, because this guy right here is the size of a real dragonfly. As you can tell, this fella is quite literally teeny, just as small as our other little fella down there. Oh! Sorry, little fella. But honestly, it's disturbing. Like, that gross thing is just hovering on my cute little cheek. This item here is a great item for my clowny friends. Not only is this the smallest clown nose looking accessory, but it also glows. This little thing on my face is smaller than a bug, and it's so adorable. Wow. Speaking of noses, the nose piercing may actually be a contender for the smallest item on Roblox, or at least in the top 4. Looks pretty massive in the catalog. Realistically, it's a little bit bigger than it looks on my face. If you cover my eyes, it kind of looks like a disturbing smiley face. I'll end you! Here we have a hat that, well, you could have guessed is very tiny because it's called the tiny head. It looks massive right now. You can't even tell I'm wearing a head right now. Not until I turn around and zoom into my neck can you see this little piece of corn that they call a head. I'm pretty sure I saw this fella stuck in one of my turds the other day. This one, believe it or not, is even smaller than the other head we tried on earlier. Actually, quite a bit smaller than old Marshmallow Head. Next up, we have a literal paperclip. I believe this is actually the 3rd smallest item on all of Roblox, and you may have a hard time spotting it. You're basically playing a game of I Spy with a bald man's head right now, and there it is. There's my trusty little paperclip that I lost in the office. As you can tell, the paperclip is realistically sized to a real paperclip. Next up is the little fangs. Since 2020, these have been one of the smallest face accessories of all time. Sorry to all the vampires who have fangs of this size. You probably could not puncture a Capri Sun juice pouch. Roblox is filled with some of the cutest pets of all time. Like this tiny snail, for example, or this baby piglet. They may be cute, but the smallest pet of all time is none other than this fella right here. the ever so tiny and very much disturbing life-sized Super Fly Pet, which is honestly disgusting. Which is awesome. You only need to pay 50 Robux to instantly throw up your organs. Speaking of which, the buzzing flies are also quite teeny, but technically they're not the small item because, well, there's a crap ton of them. This next item, the tiny elephant, is not only tiny, but it makes your avatar appear tiny as well. Look at little old... Oh god. I squished you! Next up is a Roblox official item known as the Tiny Egg of Non-Existence. It's so tiny that they labeled it as being this small. Wow. This small. It's so tiny that you actually can't see it if you're wearing a normal head. If you zoom into the head, you can see it. So here's what it looks like with headless. It is in fact teeny. It could be a robin's egg. It could be a dragon egg. It could be the egg of Dennis and I's love shot. It could be a lot of things. Anyways, it's teeny. Next up, we have the second smallest item on all of Roblox, the tiny gray box. What's in the box? As the description says, it's tiny. And I mean tiny. This thing right here is the item in question. That can't even be a millimeter big. That's a single pixel. In fact, it's so small that the orbit of my fat head is making it float above my face. Wow, science. Can't make a video about hats without plugging my buddy Danny. Her tiny macaroons are also quite sweet, adorable, and teeny. And you can get them now for only 15 Robocoonies. Cha-ching. Want to be festive for the holidays? Boom. Tiny outfit. I promise this is the last bug you're gonna see in this video. The ladybug that goes on your face is also quite teeny. In fact, even smaller than the bee that landed on our face and the dragonfly that landed on our face earlier today. Not sure why all these bugs want to land on me. And now, last, but certainly not least, the headless head. So small that you actually cannot see it. Believe it or not, there is actually an item in the headless head that is now not even visible. It is a teeny brick that this tiny gray box here is actually based off of. So this hat here is a pretty accurate representation of what the headless head actually looks like. Technically speaking, it's so dang small that it basically doesn't exist. Just like my father's love for me. Thanks for watching.